Okay, Sonny, what is the significance of today?
Today's Holy Thursday. Today's when they had the Last Supper. Jesus gets everybody together for a Last Supper, and that's when they drink the bread and
Drink the bread.
they eat the bread and drink the wine, and then they go down, and then they go and they pray, and Jesus prays forever. The apostles fall asleep, and then Judas gets the Roman guards, and they come in and like, where's that Jesus guy? And everybody wakes up. They're like, what? And Jesus is like, oh, they're here for me. And everybody like gets all crazy. And then like a standoff, right? So you got the Roman guards, and then you got the apostles are like, no, you're not taking our Jesus. And,
Our Jesus?
yeah, the apostles. They were like, they were like a gang, man.
Okay.
And they're like, you're not taking our Jesus, man. So then,
Wait, is this after dinner?
yeah, after dinner. And then somebody pulls out a sword. One of the apostles pulls out a sword and cuts off a Roman's ear. Pew! Cuts it off.
Is that true?
Yeah, it is. It's in the Bible. No, it's in the Bible. You should read the Bible.
What about Peter? I thought.
This is later. Listen, this is later.
Okay, sorry.
So then, this big ruckus starts up. Crowd starts forming. Got everybody out there with their iPhones filming everything, and then the Roman guards.
I have Google Pixel.
And the guards like getting all like, oh my God, what's going on? One guy don't have no ear, and I think Jesus came over and picked up his ear and put it back on his head and said, here you go.
Okay, you definitely made that part up.
I'm not sure about that part, but I think
I
think that's true.
Made that part
No,
up.
seriously, God.
You made that part.
And then Jesus was like, it's cool. They're for me. I know what I have to do. My father told me this was going to happen. I'm not real happy about it, but this is what I got to do. So then they take him into custody. And everybody wants to know what's going on. Why did this guy who drove in on a donkey last week, who we celebrated, why is he getting taken into jail? And they're like, so everybody wants to know what's going on. So Peter's like, doesn't know what to do.
And who's Peter?
Peter's like, he's like the main hand guy. Peter's the guy that Jesus said, I will build my rock. You are my rock. And I will build my, legacy or religion or whatever on you, Peter. He was really like the first pope. He was like
Peter part of the apostles?
Yeah, he was like the number one apostle, man. Okay. He was like the right hand man.
That's what I wanted to hear.
He was like the guy.
Okay.
He was like the guy.
Okay.
Like the leader. He was like Jesus was the boss, and Peter was like the captain. He kicked up to the captain, and then he kicked up to the boss. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, so then Peter's like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Jesus is gone. I've been hanging out with Jesus forever. He's going into prison. Am I going to go to prison? What's happening? And then these people are like, hey, you know what's going on with that guy, Jesus. You know him. I saw you with him all week. And he's like, no, that wasn't me. I don't know that guy. And then another person goes, hey, you, I saw you with that guy too. What's going on? Tell us what's going on. He just got locked up. And he's like, no, I don't know that guy. And then a third person comes and says, hey, you were with that guy, weren't you? And he goes, no, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. And then
so Peter denied Jesus
3 times.
3 times. Why would he do that?
Because he was scared, and he's a wussy, okay? Me, I would have been like, yeah, I know that guy, Jesus. Why? What do you want to do about it? You want to fight about it?
Okay.
I would have been like, yeah, I know him. He's my man. We hung out. We've been hanging out.
You were just saying that Peter was like the first pope. He was
I
like
know
the main
Jesus
guy,
had,
and Jesus was going to build his religion on Peter.
Right, because Jesus knew he was going to. Jesus told him at the dinner, at the big dinner. He said, Peter, you will deny me 3 times tonight. And Peter like, yeah, right. I wouldn't do that. That's crazy.
Jesus.
I love you, Jesus. We're bros, man. We're bros before hoes, man. And
what? Oh my God.
And then
Jesus would never say that.
I don't know. Maybe he liked hoeing stuff. I don't know.
What?
Like, we're bros before we go in the garden and start hoeing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so And Jesus knew this was gonna happen, so he wasn't surprised. Wasn't surprised. Like,
Did
hey.
Jesus know this the entire time?
Yes, he
that
did.
He's known Peter?
No, he knew it when God told him what he was going to do, what was going to happen. He knew Judas was going to deny him with a kiss. He knew Peter was going to say he didn't know who he was, and he called Peter out right before it happened. He's like, he did some like Chris Angel shit. He's like, hey man, I know you're going to do this, and the guy's like, no, I'm not. And then when Peter did it, he's like, oh my God, Jesus knew. How do you know?
You should be a father, a priest.
So then now they got Jesus in prison, and everybody's like, why we got this guy locked up? Why are we locking him up? Pontius Pilate's like, what's the deal? I don't know what's going on with this guy.
Why are you throwing in Pontius Pilate?
Because he was in charge.
You gotta pause because...
Almost auto service.
Okay, continue.
So
I think we were talking to... Yeah.
So Pontius Pilate's like...
Did you say who Pontius Pilate was?
He was like the king. He was like the ruler of the land. He was the man. He was like, So he's like, what's up with this guy? Well, first Pontius Pilate, it's Thursday night, man. He's sleeping, or he's having some kind of orgy or something going on. He can't be bothered with this. But they bother him on Friday with it, but that's tomorrow. That's another day.
Yeah, we can't tell the Friday story until Friday.
But then, so it's like, so they take Jesus into prison, and Jesus is like, okay, man, I know what's going on. I know what's going to happen before you know what's going to happen, because I just know. I've been praying to my Father, God, all night. So you guys showed up. He was talking to me, telling me what was going to happen, what I was going to do, what my job is, what my sacrifice in life was. And, Jesus is all calm. Everybody else is freaking out. Judas, and then Judas, right? So Judas, he gets like buyer's remorse, okay? So
what?
Judas, they gave him all this money to like turn Jesus in. That's why he had to kiss Jesus on the cheek. And then as soon as he kissed Jesus on the cheek, then the Roman guards came out and arrested Jesus, right? So then after that.
Who's Judas?
Judas is apostle too, man. He's like one of the 12. Okay?
Okay, I'm just clarifying for the audience.
So he gets buyer's remorse after all this happens, and he's like, oh man, what did I...
Seller's remorse?
Whatever.
He sold Jesus.
He's remorsed. He bought, yeah. So he's like, oh man, I can't believe I did that to Jesus. What did Jesus do to me? Nothing. He's been great to me. Why did I do this? But Judas didn't.
These sound like some shady people.
But Judas was like, it was his job to do that. That was his job. God picked him to do that. So then Judas goes like this. He goes, I'm not honoring this deal anymore. Here's your money back. And he throws the money at him. And he goes, I want Jesus back. And they're like, no, man, a deal's a deal, man. You got the money. We got Jesus. That's it. It's over. Goodbye. See you later.
How much
Hit the bricks, pal. I don't know. So then Judas goes, this is blood money. I don't want blood money. And that's where blood money came from. That's where it came from.
Judas?
From Judas. He coined that phrase that we've been using for thousands of years. So now everybody's like, what is going on? And then Mary and Mary Magdalene, you don't hear much about them, but I could imagine they were just so upset. All they were doing was probably just crying. They didn't know what to do. They're like, oh my God, what's happening? And Mary's kind of like, she's like, well, this has been a really fun ride, and a lot of weird things has happened, so, this isn't really too out of the normal for Jesus, because, everywhere we go, weird stuff happens, like, we don't have enough food, and we run out of wine at the wedding, and next thing you know, Jesus goes over there and does something, and we got plenty of wine, or we're telling a story on the mountaintop, and we don't have any food, and next thing you know, Jesus goes over there, and we got an abundant amount of fish and bread and wine. So, this is just one of those things that happens when you're around Jesus.
Wow.
But she was upset, though.
Yeah, I'm sure she was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, that's how it happened on Thursday, Holy Thursday.
Okay. Great. Thank you for telling us that story.